YouTube land, what's good? It's your boy B.Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Vegeta out there. And if you don't know me, future FGC commentator, alright messing up. But this is the early kinks. We gotta get the kinks out the way of the early season, you feel me? Atlanta, final round, 2019, Capcom Pro Tour, start off, kickoff show, whatever you want to call it. If you don't know, this is a show where I recap the tournament, talk about some things, and just kind of get my 2 cents about everything that's going on in the FGC. Typically, I cover Dragonball Fighter, Street Fighter 5, and I'll be covering Mortal Kombat 11 when that comes out. So, if you want me to touch surfaces, because also that's because of the tournaments I'll be watching. Those are the 3 main games I commentate, I play. Those are the 3 main games I'll be, talking about. But if you want me to say you're a fan of mine, you're a fan of B.Heard, and you're a fan of these recaps, and you want me to showcase your other games, and you want me just to talk about them, just to say the placements that they got. I watched a little bit of Tekken, but I don't know anything about Tekken to cover it. Let me know down below. Yeah, so that's basically how these recap shows go. I would love to get a guest on there, but gotta ghetto it, kinda, because I just recorded like this through the photo booth, iPhone or MacBook app or whatever have you. And yeah, that's how we talk about it. So let's get into the CPT part of it, because I do want to talk about Dragon Ball Fighters just a little bit and kind of spoil something in the same way, also with the CPT event. But this was a premiere event. There's 11 premiere events this year, and there's 3 super premiere events. So super premiere events are like there's a Japan one to be announced. There's a North America, I think, regional final one to be announced, and Evo. And I think North America is at the very end. I don't know where the Japan one is, but obviously Evo is like kind of there in the middle of the season. So I kind of like how they have 3 aspects like that. But if you still win a premiere, you're still sitting mighty comfortably, and it's a good sign. It's a good start off to how your season's kind of gonna go. Because at the beginning stages, like Evo Japan is like kind of like, I would say, the preseason essentially. That's the preseason, and like, all right, the season's gearing up. This is where everybody's kind of sitting at. This is what the meta is going to be, which I thought the meta was going to be, but technically we didn't get that at all. It's kind of a good indication of where you're going to be at as far as the season. But final round is like, all right, this is who's starting off the gate and who's making their way in the progress, right? Because I want to say Cien won two final rounds ago. Ended up doing really well in the season. Infiltration won last year's final round, was doing well to a point, but obviously he has to sit out this year because of the allegations and things of that nature. We don't have to touch surfaces about that. But without a further ado, your 2019 final round winner, actually a whopping 327 entries, as it was in this attendance too, so everybody was a killer. Punk came from losers, got sent to losers, made the run back, won 6 out of 7, I think, in grand finals against Momochi. Punk's cameraman. Punk, like, he's so good at things that are not simple, but simple, essentially. It's like simply complicated, like a free throw, right? So Punk is so good at slowly walking forward and blocking. Just something simple as that. And then his whiff punishing, like, I think he whiff punished, he was playing Justin Wong and whiff punished like a Monot normal, like I think an orb normal, if I'm not mistaken. I saw it on Twitter. I think Capcom actually retweeted it. Like, he's just so good at just whiff punishing. That low forward from Karen, it's patented. It's the best low forward in the game. And his hit confirms and just his spacing is just truly remarkable. And I'm kind of glad that we did get to see the mirror match with Johnny. I was kind of worried to see if he's going to go Karen, but I mean, not Karen, but Chun-Li, but he stuck it through and he made it work. And God, Punk is really the best. Like, people are saying that Karen's kind of showing signs of season 2 Karen. So I like her, even though, she got the laugh, she's rich, she's spoiled, but, some people don't feel that way about her. So I do personally. I do like seeing good Karens on the screen. It feels good to have Punk at his rightful throne, right? Because, like, in season 2, like, Punk was sitting with so much points, he could basically get anyone he wanted into points. If you could give away your CPT points in season 2, Punk has so much, he could help his friends if he really wanted to. Like, he was sitting, and then still be in first place, sitting comfortably. That's how dominant Punk was in the first season 2. But, nonetheless, Momochi is on a good tear. Especially, Momochi's doing 2 things that's insane, right? He lost his sponsor with Echo Fox. He picked up another one. He's training a killer in the making who's a young prodigy, and he's doing the damn thing his damn self. People looking at Momochi coming from winner's side and losing in grand finals as a bad thing, like, yeah, you get half the points he was gonna get for winning it, but he just won Evil Japan. Momochi's on fire right now. And NCR is, I think he's actually, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to the next ranking event. So he'll probably, well, no, because that's only 200 points. And so Punk's sitting comfortably for at least NCR. But, nonetheless, Momochi is on fire right now. And he can damn well take that ranking event next week. Or this week, essentially. And then he can probably do well at NCR. So Momochi is on fire. He won Evil Japan. He's playing some of the best Street Fighter he's been playing. And I think the ninja is kind of helping him, because a lot of people didn't think Colleen was style, you know. Momochi, when Cody came out, we thought he was going to play more Cody, but he didn't really. He's fallen in love with Zeku, and Zeku allows him to do a lot of things that I think Momochi likes to do. But, so that was Seki, first and second, respectively. Fudo, the sponsor, Fudo, not Fudo. Johnny, a 22-year-old prodigy playing Karin. Wow. I don't know who said it on commentary. I enjoyed CPT's commentary, because CPT's commentary is always high tier. I mean, you had James Chin, you had Ultra David, you had IFC Yipes, you had Sajam. Did anyone else commentate that I remember off the top of my head? That was the four that really stuck out and was always on commentary, it seemed like, for a final round. But nonetheless, somebody on commentary made a note to emphasize Johnny and how he was doing this young, like I said, young prodigy. He's getting taught by Momochi, and Momochi's your trainer. It's a great trainer to have, you know. What else was I gonna say? That just look at Johnny's run. Johnny's run. This is the list of people he beat as a young prodigy. Johnny beat Gachikun. Oh, just the Capcom Cup reigning defending winner, 2018. Shine, Brian F, Doomsnake, Moke, and Cero Blast. And Cero Blast, I think took out Ricky Ortiz and Problem X. So the fact that Gachikun, or not Gachikun, excuse me, wow, I just looked at it. The fact that Johnny is a young prodigy getting taught by Momochi, almost beat Momochi in a good set in winners finals, shows you how good of a teacher Momochi is and how good of a player Johnny is. And Johnny's only 22. You know, nerves of steel, being in the top 8 at a premiere event and just killing the damn thing. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be exciting, especially now that he has a sponsor. He got a great trainer. He's going to be on the tear. And then CJ Truth picking up where he picked off last year. Not really rocking the Cammy, because, you know, Cammy did get some nerfs and stuff like that, but rocking the Colleen and still getting 4th place. I think he took Cool Kid out. Who did those? He took out Tampa Bay Bison. CJ Truth had an excellent showing, and it was good to see him play quite well indeed. Brian F was another one. You know, I'm always in his streams. I'm always supporting him, watching him what he does, and just, you know, I guess he's from Tampa, or he's from Florida originally, which I did not know, but, you know, he's in the Midwest now, so we claiming him. So Midwest, you know, Midwest representing that top 8. It was good to see Brian F, especially with Balrog doing the things he was able to do in that top 8, and just to get to that top 8. He was on fire. Him and Oil King were both on fire, both finishing in 5th place. Both, unfortunately, going 0-2 in top 8, but that is the beauty of top 8. You end up finishing in 5th if you go 0-2 from winner's side. So, you know, 5th place is not the end of the world. Tampa Bay Bison finished in 7th. He had a good showing. Cien finished in 7th. He had a good showing as well. And Cien, the weird thing too about Cien, I'm going to touch on Tampa Bay Bison in just a second. The weird thing about Cien was I really did feel strong about that Cien and Punk match. I was rooting for Punk, but if Cien won, I thought he could have made a run that Punk did. So basically, that was like, whoever wins this match is going to kind of dictate how the top 8 is going to go. Especially coming from the loser side, they're going to be pretty strong. And Tampa Bay Bison had like a pad malfunction, I think, Saturday with the top 48. And it almost cost him the match because he couldn't defend the jump-ins. He was kind of getting jumped in on. I don't know if he had a good set against CJ Truth. So I don't know if he essentially fixed the pad and the pad felt comfortable, but you know, it's already in your mind that your pad's not working. So it's like, if you see it jumping, you might risk it all just trying to jump in, like, anti-air someone. So if CJ Troops knows that, he can press the roundhouse button maybe a little later on his jump ins, or kind of just neutral jump and bait something out. I don't know if that was an indication of the match. I kind of was doing something at the current time. The FK11 beta was out too, so I was kind of watching and playing something else. But I don't know if that was an indication of that match. But you know, it's just one of the things. And then as far as points goes, first place for a Premier gets 700, second place gets 350, third gets 200, fourth gets 160, fifth both get 130, and seventh gets 100. A little more generous with the points, I guess, this year. A little more. We'll see how they end up with the final standings. So what have you. So noticeable ninth place finishes: JB, Shine, Gamer B, MOV. Good to see Shine playing well. Good to see Gamer B. Good to see MOV. MOV's Chun-Li player to the end. It's good to see him. So noticeable 13th place finishes: Itabashi Zangief. Going back to Zangief, him and Mike Too Strong make Zangief look so fun. I swear to you. John Takeuchi, Justin Wong, Smug finishing 13th. Sako finishing 17th. 801 Strider, good to see his G and him. Like, he looked really strong. Nemo, Cool Kid, Haitani, Gachikun, Do, and Bonchan. I think I want to say he eliminated Tokido with Sagat. So hopefully we get to see more Sagat out of Bonchan. Hopefully he brings it out. 25th Magnero, a Reddit fighting community member representing Giuna. Verlin, LPN, I think he had an upset too. I want to say maybe, was it High Time? No, who did he upset? I'm drawing a blank, but I want to say it might have been High Time, but that wouldn't make sense. Maybe he sent him to losers. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. LPN, Otana, Hudo, Just a Kid. He also is in the Reddit fighting community mid-best guy. He actually did really well. Tokido, I think Just a Kid beat MNRD as well. For 33rd place finishes, and I usually just covered to 33rd because that's where the points end. Salty Kid, Kazanoko, Dan Slip, Cero Blast, Sylvic Gold, nice one. Ryusei, Fujimura, Princess Slim, Neon V, Reddit community people, shout out to them. Ranmam Sama, hopefully I'm saying that right. Daigo, Mahara, Lord Problem X, Menard, FGC Carlos, and Hot Dog 29. Some notable notes that I got from Glenn, the Game It Work. He's a statistics guy. He covers statistics for the CPT events, and I think he actually does for each player too. Like, he has a spreadsheet on it, and it's simply remarkable and beautiful if you're into that sort of thing. Only 4 of the top 8 players got a win. That's insane for one. That's half the top 8 only got a win. Like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And then in 2016, the North America Regional Finals, when Punk, I think, was A4 at the time too, if I'm not mistaken. So shouts out to A4 Andre, free him. He has 69 wins in CPT top 8 matches. 69 wins in just top 8 matches. So that actually makes me wonder. So I wonder. Okay, it has to be wins, right? Essentially, I mean, even still wins, that's still impressive. But for some reason, I was thinking sets. But yeah, just wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not going 0-2 in top 8s. He's getting dubs in top 8s. So Punk is one of the best. Like I said earlier, talked about Johnny. Let's see. Should I go into Dragon Ball now? Sorry for the page flip. No, let's finish off CPT first. Let me finish off CPT. So the CPT standings after one event. This is the way too early. Why the hell are you talking about the CPT standings event? You know, whatever. But I always did it last year. Might as well keep doing it, right? Essentially. Punk finished in first place. Momochi finished in second. Johnny finished in third. Oh, well, placing wise, I'm butchering everything. I apologize. Placement wise on the CPT website, Punk's in first, Momochi's in second, Johnny's in third, CJ Troops in fourth, Brian F's in fifth, Oil Kings in sixth, Tampa Bay Bison's in 7th, CN's in 8th, and 9 is Gamer B, and 10 to round out the top 10 is JB. The first 4 out as far as the standings go, because obviously Gachakun's in it, but you have to take away 1 spot because of the last chance qualifier. So the first 4 out is a crazy list. If the CPT standings were to end today in Capcom Cup starting in April, Berlin's out, Cerebral Blast is out, Daigo's out, and Dan Slips out. Just how they had it listed. I don't know how they have it listed because it's not in alphabetical order, so I really don't know how if they're rating wins and losses and points and things of that nature because everybody's tied for points. But that's how you have it. The next event on the Capcom Pro Tour is the FV Cross C Major 2019 in Kuala Lumpur, Musala, Asia regional event between the 23rd of March and 24th of March. Some notable players that are going, so this is why you should check it out. Ryusei, Cien, Momochi, Sako, Bonchan, Gamer B, Itabashi Zangi, Fujimura, Haitani, Hot Dog, and Johnny. That is going to be a banger of an event. You gotta figure outside of top 8 you don't get points, and top 7 gets 5 points. Or yeah, 7th place gets 5 points. So how many names did I just list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So out of the 11 I just named, 3 of those players are not even gonna get points. That's going to be a bloodbath. Sorry for the flip of the page again. Let's talk about Dragon Ball. Oh, actually, no, real quick, before we get into Dragon Ball, I'm not gonna make this video too long, but no announcement for Street Fighter Season 4. You know, it was the first premiere, it just made sense. NCR doesn't necessarily make sense to me, it doesn't scream out to me. Do I expect one on NCR? I think you have to at this point, especially with it being at the end of the month, but at the same time, I don't want an announcement of a character that comes out at the end of April, you feel me? If you announce something at NCR with it being that 29th through the 31st weekend, you gotta have a character come out that Tuesday, to be honest. If they don't have a character come out, at least one character come out that next week in April, they might lose some people. Because, you know, Mortal Kombat comes out on 11. Now, granted, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are on 2 ends of the spectrum of the world as far as fighting games go. But it's Season 4. You promise more characters, and you don't show more characters, but a newer game has came out, and there's other characters that people want to play. People are going to tend to try to sway how they feel about a game. And then on top of that, granted, Street Fighter's always had great numbers, but you only had 300 for this event, and this is a premiere event. So I don't want to say it's the last season of Street Fighter V as far as DLC goes, but it's not looking too good. I think they have to announce a character at NCR, but we're in trouble. We are in some trouble. Anyway, enough about the CPT event. This is me talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ. I didn't get to watch all of Dragon Ball FighterZ because I was watching the CPT event, so I got to go back and watch the top 8s and things of that nature. But it was some killers there. It was a whopping 146 people. I think that's a pretty healthy number for Dragon Ball FighterZ, especially with it not being a event for the Dragon Ball World Tour, which I don't know when the next announcement for the tour is going to be. My guess is if Mortal Kombat probably starts around Combo Breaker in May. I don't know when it'll end, probably around September, October, you know, and the last game would be, or the last tournament would be in December or November. I think Dragon Ball you get more of the same, so I think it's going to start in June with CEO and then end in January like it did this year. But I don't know if you're going to get Season 3. We don't know. It's up in the air, especially with only be 6 characters this time rather than the 8, and especially where they're going with this. I'll get into that. I'll get into that later. But the person that won Dragon Ball FighterZ last year, the person that won the first to 10 against Sonic Fox, without a further ado, Goichi takes first place at the final round. I did enjoy the Dragon Ball commentary too. I know a lot of people commentary is hard. I enjoyed the other person. I don't know the other person's name, but Romanova. I enjoyed their commentary thoroughly. Like I was saying, I did enjoy Romanova's commentary and the other person's commentary. I didn't get the person's name, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, Goichi wins it with Bardock, Goku, and Piccolo. He did an Air Fuzzy, fam. Like, not Air Jordans, no, an Air Fuzzy. That was insane. The fact that the height that Piccolo could get and stay at, and then Air Fuzzy you, like, you know, it never made sense to me why they always nerfed Piccolo. Like, in the first beta, he was good. And then they nerfed him, and then they nerfed him, and then they nerfed him, and then he struggled in the very beginning of the game, and then they kind of brought some of his mechanics back. I want to see what that first Piccolo was like with like the game now, because we know the meta now. The meta now is like, if you have a big character on your team, you know, we're gonna snap you out. We're gonna snap him to get him in, to fuzzy him, to rebuild the cycle and get the damage. And then if we want to keep 3 characters alive, we're gonna pop Sparking early. Level 3s are better because you get the hard knockdown. You gotta make them guess, and then you go for the air grabs now to get sliding knockdown, things of that nature. Like, the meta is already built. There's not too much you're gonna do that's different in Dragon Ball. Especially, you're gonna probably rock a Yamcha, a Kid Buu, a Vegeta, a Goku, or a Bardock, or Adult Gohan. Like, you're gonna have one of those 6 on your team, right? The meta's set. The meta is set if you want to win and you want to be competitive. But just some of the stuff that Goichi's able to do with like Piccolo, and just how good he is truly remarkable. And it's good to see Kazunoko. I mean, Kazunoko finished 33rd in Street Fighter, so he's still probably one of the best players in the world. I would love to see him actually play like Mortal Kombat. I would love to see a lot of the Japan players play Mortal Kombat and see how they turn out. But yeah, Kazunoko, Goichi ended up beating both Dogra and Kazunoko, so they was trying to get a rematch. Kazunoko ended up winning, but then lost eventually. Dogra finished 3rd, Hooken God finished 4th. I don't know what he did to his wrist, but he was had a wrist brace after the tournament, so hopefully the speedy recovered for him. So I don't actually know what his next tournament's going to be. Probably NCR. I'm guessing for Dragon Ball players, they're probably going to go to the bigger tournaments, so I'm guessing NCR is going to be his next tournament for a lot of these players. Sonic Fox it finished in 5th. Taekwondo. I knew the name before this event, and then I never said it, so I apologize. He's a 18 Frieza player, really strong player. He finished in 5th as well. Super Noon and Chris G finished in both 7th respectively. And then I would say the other ones, but I didn't get a chance to write it down. Oh yeah, Dogra ended up playing Cooler too. So, but he switched out Cooler for 16. So depending on the certain matchups, I wonder how he feels about certain things. I would love to get his feedback about that. But let's talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ for a second. I already talked about when I think the World Tour is going to begin, but it hasn't yet. So Goku GT is coming out. So everybody wanted the original Goku. But it makes sense why they went with GT, because there's no GT representation. And then again, he still gets the pull that everybody wants, so it's like a win-win. But that makes me nervous. And the reason it makes me nervous is because I don't know about Baby Girl. Like, I want Kefla in the game. And I want a Master Roshi, but another Goku is taking Master Roshi's spot. So I don't think Master Roshi's going to get in the game, but at the same time, I don't know if they're going to put Kefla in the game, because... So, like, it's an either or, and I know it's either or, but the reason why I feel like this is because, like, if you looked at the season before, they kind of went with themes. Like, the season before, they had Bardock and Broly. There were 2 movie characters. There are 2 movie characters and 2 famous characters that weren't in the game already. Then you went Fuse Zamasu, Fuse Vegeta. They was in the same arc, and they're Fuse characters. Then you went... Wait, who was after that? You went base Goku, base Vegeta. Wow. You went those 2 characters, so like the beginning of Dragon Ball and the base versions of the characters, because it's like you have the God version and the Super Saiyan version, so might as well go base. And then you went Cooler in 17. So I guess Cooler in 17 kind of different, you know, because it was like Ranger 17, so it was Super 17. And then Super 17, not Super 7, Super Android 17, not that guy from GT. And then Cooler, Cooler is a good character. cool character, pun intended, but they went that way. But then Videl and Jiren don't go together too, so I guess it makes sense. So then that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like GT Goku is gonna be baby. That's what, like, if they wanted to pair, makes sense. But if you wanted Vegeta to have another character, if you match Goku with another character, then it makes sense to be Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I guess. But everybody wants Majin Vegeta, if anything. But there's a level 3 that GT Goku has that we don't know about, so then that has to be his transformation into Super Saiyan 4. So then that makes me think Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta? But then there's no way that they're gonna represent. They already threw one girl in. I don't know if they're gonna throw two girls in the pack and then put like GT Goku and Kefla. See, that's why I'm so confused. Like, I really don't, because we already know Gogeta and Broly are coming out. Like, those are the last characters. So we only have one character left. So it's either got to be Baby or Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, or Kefla. But then again, you have Janemba, you have Tapion, you have Master Roshi. Like GT Goku throws everything in a loop. I literally don't know what they're gonna do. I want Kefla. If I still think it's a perfect roster if you put Kefla in there, because I think you need one more female, and that's the only female that makes sense to me right now. But then this makes me want a season 3. And I don't know if I think you need more, because I feel like, it's hard to go on this long tangent, but I'm like really thinking about it out loud, right? I think you need a season 3, because I think this has a chance to be the greatest Dragon Ball game of all time if you have a character that everybody wants, right? Because visually it's the best looking Dragon Ball game easily. Then it's a fighting game, so that makes it even 10 times better, like a true fighting game. Then it's a Marvel style game, which brings in the creativity and the flow. Granted, they're kind of limited now, like you can't do as many level 1s as you want, and you have to do a slightly like that, but that's neither here nor there. So I think you gotta make this the best game ever, so I do want to see a season 3. But if you do a season 3, I'm gonna have 8 characters, not 2. But then see, that makes me wonder too. I wonder when they're gonna reveal him, like, because he still is not out. Like, the scans are coming out, so I just hope everything comes out before Mortal Kombat. You know, I want to play everything before Mortal Kombat comes out. I really do. So I want the new Street Fighter character to come out before Mortal Kombat. I want the new Dragon Ball character to come out before Mortal Kombat, because that game's fun. And I'll do a review on that later. But that's it. I went on a long tangent. Like I said, if you want me to at least touch the surface on other things in your tournament, please let me know. I want to be the FGC guy that talks about these tournaments and things of that nature. There's a lot I want to do for the FGC, so please. I think I'm at 122 subscribers, so I got 3 subscribers over the weekend, even though I didn't upload a video, so I want to say thank you for that. But be sure to subscribe, like, care. I mean, I do want you to care. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.